Mohammed Ali Shah, who's joining us in this conversation as well. We're in the lawns of the Vijay Chowk. Wing Commander Praful Bakshi also with us. Historian Utpal Kaul, all braving it out. And you know what? We can still hear the drum rolls right here. In fact, they're being played so loud. We must be at least a couple of kilometers away from the Prime Minister spoke, and we can hear these drums like they were right next to us. Ali, your reflections on what the Prime Minister said. See, when a leader speaks about uniting India, when a leader speaks about uniting India on the basis of commonalities, I think the Prime Minister said it all. That, you know, this progress has to be owned by all of us. What I really liked about his speech, Ali, was that he even thanked the daily wage laborer. He said they are to be thanked for building India. These are not the people who usually get the credit. They live in the shadows and they go away in shadows. But, you know, taking out the time and appreciating every cog in this wheel is important.
Absolutely, Vinny. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, these are the qualities of a true leader. You have to recognize and you have to acknowledge the contribution at the grassroots level as well. It's not just the top guys who take the credit. No. So yes, what the Prime Minister has said, he's a great leader. There's no doubt. Everyone knows of that fact. And yes, we have come a long way. And, you know, I'll tell you a small incident, Vineet.
Ali, I'm sorry to interject, but you know, I really want to know from you as to, you know, how do you respond to people? How do you respond to naysayers who have been pessimistic about this development process? What do you say to them? You know, it is something important to be addressed, because that will also take care of all those people who are perhaps on the fences in terms of, you know, what's happening at Central Vista.
Right. A very good question, Vineet. And let me explain it to you in this way, you know. It is very important to have a strong opposition for any government, irrespective. I'm not talking about the political parties. I'm talking about the ruling government, right? So that the work of the opposition, they can keep a check and balance on the government. And the government also would be careful. But now when you have an opposition who will oppose you for the heck of it, just because they have
Correct.
to oppose.
Unimaginatively.
Yeah. So it has to be logical. It has to be backed with certain substance. But when they start opposing without logic, without substance, then they cut a sorry figure themselves. So naysayers, very good question. Well, naysayers will say, people will say, people will, tongues will wag. But best way is let them wag. You keep moving ahead. आप तरक्की के रास्ते पे चलो, पीछे मुड़ के मत देखो. आप जब आगे बढ़ जाओगे ना, you will find those people to remain there only, and you have reached somewhere there. And then when you look at them over there, you like, oh, this guy was a naysayer. He said, so best way is, if the naysayer, there's no see, if you are opposing something which is credible, I can well understand that. But when there's no credibility,
have they opposed anything ever that has been credible, Ali? No, we have touched upon a very important subject here, Ali. We have touched upon China. As a defense expert, do you feel that, you know, there was a eureka moment when we stood up to China under this government? Do you think that there was, in fact, a policy, you know, revolution, the way we stood up to China? Because, you know, we've had altercations with them in the past. We have fought with them in the past. But this time, the response that we saw and the kind of fearlessness with which Sumit also, in fact, alluded to that, with which India fought and displayed, has been exemplary.
Reed, I will tell you a small anecdote. In a boarding school, there used to be a bully. And this bully would bully everyone. So one day, this person who was getting bullied picked up a hockey stick and returned back the hockey stick shot to the bully. That's it. That was about it. Then the bully ran away, firstly, and people stopped getting bullied. So the way India has stood up to China right now, to a bully like China, commendable.
I can't think of another country who has stood up to China the way we have.
No other country has stood up. And no one has the guts. Vietnam in 1979. Yes, Vietnam, and they were very strategic. You know, when China entered Vietnam, the Vietnamese rangers, their border guards, who were deployed there, they moved behind. It was a strategical move. A leopard also takes 4 steps behind before it leaps. A tiger also goes behind before it leaps. Similarly, the Vietnamese...
The dragon doesn't.
Okay, fine. Okay, so good one. So they moved behind, and when they came behind, they came in touch with their regular army, who gave a solid thrashing. Jimmy Carter was the president of US at that time. And already the Chinese premier had gone to Jimmy Carter on 1st January 1979 and told Jimmy Carter that the third child, which is Vietnam, was getting naughty and needs to be spanked. And in March, this whole thing happened. And when China got thrashed by Vietnam till today, China has not dared to look at Vietnam with bad intentions. Till today, they'll do with Taiwan, they'll do to Japan, they'll do to probably India as well. Now they would not. But today, when we have given them a nice reply, I mean, what better?
Befitting reply.
Befitting reply. Yep.